This week, we have a very important catalyst on the inflation numbers, inflation data. In this video, I want to go over on how you guys can be prepared. I'll be giving you guys my thoughts, my predictions, all of that. We also have a lot of earnings coming into this week, and on top of that, I want to go over the psychology and the chart levels for what I am looking at. And I definitely have a lot of stocks that I am watching. I have this video timestamped in the description, so you guys can hover over and skip through. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a like. Have a video coming up tomorrow on why I'm shorting the US dollar and how you can also, and make sure to watch my previous video because that is a very nice follow-up. So let's get started off with the economic calendar. So pretty much we don't really have anything going on except for a very, very important catalyst on the inflation data on November 10th. Now first, before we get into the numbers and what we're expecting, I want to give you guys my personal thoughts. So I'm personally thinking that inflation is just going to be flat, and off of my experience going to the gas tank, I especially have this very nice website, gasprices.aaa.com. You guys can kind of take a look at the prices, and we can see that pretty much, this is the current average a month ago, so pretty much it has just been trading sideways. I've also seen that in my local gas station, so I personally think inflation is going to just stay flat and it kind of just cool down. And if we take a look at the numbers, that is what we are also expecting. So investing.com/economic calendar, you guys can kind of filter this out, but we could see that we are forecasting 8%. So anything below 8% is bullish, and above 8% is bullish, because again, we are thinking that inflation is going to cool down and kind of slow down. So you guys can mess around with the numbers. Here's kind of a nice a bar chart with the numbers. Inflation peaked around 9.1%, and as long as if we just have another bar down, anything below 8.2% is going to be good and really bullish. Anything below 8% is going to be very, very bullish. So that is it with inflation. Again, you guys can go to cnbc.com right around pre-market on November 10th. So again, this is coming on Thursday, November 10th, and right at market open or pre-market, you'll have the number on cnbc.com. So that is my personal experience. Now, we also have a lot of earnings this week. We started off the earnings season with banks, and we had high tech growth stocks like Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, Netflix. Remember all of these stocks. But now we're moving into high speculative stocks. Like last week, we had stocks like Roku and PayPal reporting earnings, and this week we have a lot more higher speculative stocks like AMC, definitely AMC, Upstart, Palantir going on, Neo, especially Neo. I really want to see the earnings for Neo because this stock has been cracking down very, very bad. Six Flags is going to be interesting. I went to the Fright Fest, whatever it's called, and that is going to be interesting. Fiverr is another one. Unity, another one of Kathy stocks. We have Wendy's, so we definitely have a lot of stocks. Affirm, so these are more higher speculative stocks. We have moved away from blue chip stocks to a more higher risk growth stocks coming into this week, so it'll be very interesting on what the outlay is on. I'm also very interested on Walt Disney. They have been going very, very political, especially with a potential red wave coming up. It'll be very interesting to see what they're gonna say on the earnings call. Roblox is another very, very interesting one. Just that idea of a kids game being profitable. It'll be very, very interesting. Now let's get off with the chart and the technicals. Again, I have this video timestamped so you guys can skip through to the stocks that you guys want to take a look at. So let's go over the SPY chart. Now, before I actually go over the SPY chart, I made a video on how it looks just like the 2008 crash, and I'm gonna make an updated video on, because right now it really is following the 2008 chart. So we could see, we have a major level that we are taking a look at, and what I'm mostly concerned about is the level we are currently at. So I have this blue zone that I drew on my chart. Make sure to go to tradingview.com, use my link in the description. But we are in this major level, and we just really need to be above this level, because as I mentioned in my 2008 video, anything below the previous low is going to be very freaky. But now let's take a look at kind of a more zooming in time frame for SPY. Once we zoom in a little bit over here, we could see that we rejected off of a major level of resistance. We could see we had a nice consolidation period, we rejected, and right now we are chilling at a major level of support at 376. So me as a bull, we need to hold this level, because this is really lifeline support right now. We do not want to go below this level, especially since we have inflation data coming up, and the whole cause for this rejection and this drop was FOMC. Okay, so that was last week on the Catalyst earnings, but bulls really need to hold this level. This is a danger zone. Okay, this is a freaky danger zone. We need to be above this, but overall it is not looking good for the bulls. I'm going to be completely honest, because I'm mostly looking bullish for this week, but it does not look good. And let's play off the conditions, and let's not make predictions, and let's just play off the levels, and let's see how it goes. So I'll make another updated video on SPY, but it does not look good as of right now. Same with the Qs, which is the tech ETF, and especially QQQ. It is getting closer to the major level of support, which is the yearly low. So it definitely does not look good, because if we break this level, it is going to cause massive panic, because that is the yearly low, and you bet that there's going to be many stop losses at this level of support. Now, the first play that I am already in is FedEx. You guys already know about FedEx. I made a whole video on FedEx. But just to give a quick summary, FedEx stock is getting extremely tight. And especially this week, we need to either break out to the upside or take it in as a loss, and to move along and just get rid of FedEx if it doesn't break. And if it breaks below, we have to cut. But FedEx stock is getting very tight, and above, we need to be above $160 for it to be bullish. So FedEx is definitely the play that I'm watching this week. The next play that I'm looking at, which I made a whole video on, so I'm not going to be going over that, are these semiconductor stocks. So make sure to actually watch that video right now, because that and FedEx is going to be my main play, and pretty much the only play for this week that I am looking at. Next, I'm looking at Tesla, and I am shorting Tesla. I also made a whole video on why I am shorting Tesla, so make sure to watch that video. And I'm shorting Tesla off of TSLS shares, which is a inverse of the Tesla stock. Now let's go over here and just want to do a quick summary on why I am bearish on Tesla. First, before I take a look at the chart, the first thing that I'm taking a look at are obviously earnings. So Tesla has been killing every single earnings. The next earnings, we have a lot higher expectations, but what I'm taking a look at is the current economic status and how it's higher interest rates. It's higher to get a car because of the loans and interest rate. It's a lot more expensive. And then on top of that, what I'm taking a look at is Elon Musk buying Twitter. And also on top of that, we have the overall chart, which has a massive bearish pattern, which, as you guys know, that this is a head and shoulder. And then last week we also had news on UK doing some tax on EVs, but mostly for Tesla, it needs to break 203. Okay, it needs to break this major level of support. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, again, it looks bearish, and we have stocks like Amazon, we have stocks like Microsoft and Google, which are approaching COVID lows. They're literally approaching COVID lows, while Tesla is still way above COVID lows. So this is a very nice, interesting one. I like the odds on Tesla, and that is why I'm shorting with TSLS shares. Okay, so this is a very nice one on Tesla. Now, I have a quick follow-up with Apple and Amazon also. So they're all actually looking very, very similar, but Apple looks very interesting. It has a massive symmetrical triangle on the daily. If I zoom in a little bit over here, I really love this close. We have a nice wick. We have a nice insider candle, and we also have a nice gap. So I'm taking a look at Apple. And Apple looks very nice, especially taking a look at on the weekly time frame. So as long as if it really holds this level of support, it looks good. If it breaks this level of support, it will not look good. Okay, just like Apple and just like Tesla, they're kind of looking the same, but we are on a major lifeline level of support. For example, if we take a look at Amazon right now, okay, Amazon dropped very, very bad on earnings guidance for Christmas, and if we take a look at the weekly time frame, okay, it looked around just like Tesla and Amazon, where it had a major level of support. It really broke that. It tried testing that, and even now it broke that 2018 major level of support, and it just does not look good. So just like Apple and just like Tesla, Apple really needs to hold that level of support for it to be bullish. Okay, Apple needs to hold this level of support, or else again you add massive buys here. Where are people gonna have their stop loss? So this is a very important notice for Apple as well as Tesla, and I'm watching them together, but Tesla just looks a lot more bearish. So that is pretty much it. Very, very simple video. To recap it all, again, a little bit just iffy on SPY and the whole sentiment for this week. I'm really just unsure. I'm just going to play off the conditions, but I'm mostly bullish on FedEx as well as the semiconductors, which I made a whole video on. So make sure to watch that video because I'm very bullish on AMD, NVIDIA, and Micron technology. So if you have not already, make sure to watch the video on that and subscribe with notifications on. See you guys tomorrow. I have a video coming up tomorrow on why I am shorting the dollars, the reason, and how you can also short the US dollar. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.